my real estate career was a job off of another job off of another job. Some ways being partners with Michael has helped me a lot to do that. Although I'm warm and fuzzy, I love contracts. I can focus on those all day, but that's part of the deal.
I was raised in New Zealand, but I from an early age, I was so drawn to America and LA and for the lifestyle, and a lot of that was through the movies. Hi.
Hi.
I am Clark Vautier. I'm a marketing consultant, originally from New Zealand, but a long-time LA resident and a big fan of LA. And I understand you're also a big fan of LA.
I am a big
How
fan of
long
LA.
have you been in LA?
For over 25 years. How about yourself?
And before that?
Oh, before that, I was in Colorado.
That's where you were born and raised?
I was born in Chicago, raised in Colorado.
Okay.
Raised my childhood life in Colorado, my adult life in LA.
What prompted you to move to LA?
I think just loving LA. I loved California since I was 2 years old. Told my parents when I was 2 and tell them that I was moving to California. It was between San Diego and LA.
Yeah. So you had a pull. It pulled you.
Yes.
And what influenced that?
I think the lifestyle, I think that you can live a daily life with a lot of hardship here. Things like weather don't get in your way.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty obvious choice for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was raised in New Zealand, but I from an early age, I was so drawn to America and LA and for the lifestyle, and a lot of that was through the movies.
Really?
That's what influenced me. But so you came to LA, and
Yes.
did you have a plan?
I did not. No. School was the plan. School, just find a job, and I just let things roll. Just like my real estate career was a job off of another job off of another job, one that made sense from my other background, which was interior design. So that is how that happened. And it was just I had a really nice entry into real estate. It was more of an apprenticeship than...
Just to back it up for a second, so out of college, give us the steps to get to real estate.
I worked for a retail store and I was a buyer for it, and then that was buyer for furnishings, which led to an interior design type of position, which after that, one of the clients that was needing interior design services had real estate. And there used to be a situation where you could turn an older unit into a luxury unit and bring it out of rent control. That was what his strategy was, investing in real estate. And I was brought on to do a project on budget. I asked him while I was on that project site, hey, there's people asking about renting this property. And he said, I will pay for a fair housing class. Would you be interested in helping me lease it? And that snowballed into just doing that with several other units and learning more about. And he paid me to learn and then do all of the leases, practice real estate, and eventually be licensed in order to property manage. That was my entry. And then property management, since I was already licensed, turned into, and I was helping him execute his deals, which were small mom and pop multifamilies. Said, why don't you try to execute your own deals? Try your hand at that too. And that is how it snowballed into what I do currently, which is buy and sell real estate.
I love that. And how long have you been doing that?
That I've been doing for 10 years, I would say, buying and selling real estate. I think I've been licensed for 15.
I love hearing the organic path. It's always fascinating to me how people end up choosing their vocations.
Yeah.
And so you followed the breadcrumbs, basically.
Yeah, you go with what you enjoy. Now, did I love doing financials for property management? No. Do I know how to do them? Yes. But do I love meeting with clients and engaging them and finding out what their hopes and dreams are, or investors putting small amount of money down so that they could possibly maybe even own a piece of LA real estate? There's so many different ways. That's where the joy is.
Yeah.
I think making people some appreciation and equity and have some ownership of Los Angeles is really, really important.
So that's, I can see you light up a little as you talk about that. That's one of the key drivers for you, huh?
Yeah, very passionate about it.
What else do you love about it?
I do I do really love interior design, so my opinion holds weight because I was paid by human beings to interior design, and I was paid for my opinions
Yeah.
on how things look aesthetically. So I still get to do a piece of that, but I don't have to, I still get to be part of their real estate journey, including the interior design part of it. So
Yeah, so you're able to marry a few
marry
of those
the
things.
two, yeah.
What would you say is your superpower?
Empathy, I would say, and patience. Patience is, yeah, maybe patience more than empathy. I am incredibly patient with other human beings.
And why is that?
I think it's necessary. I think that just in terms of real estate, I don't think you can push anyone to do something that they're not sure they want to do. All you can do is give them time, bend an ear, and give them your best guidance one way or another.
Yeah.
The answer isn't always, yes, you should go forward, by the way.
And so the opposite of your superpower, maybe your Achilles heel, what is that?
Trying to do too many things at once, I think. And I need to let go of trying to do. In some ways, being partners with Michael has helped me a lot to do that because there's been someone outside looking in saying, wow, you really shouldn't be doing all of those things. That, for example, a computer with a spreadsheet. If you just give me a spreadsheet, I will focus on that, get it done. But if you have dings and clients, the spreadsheet will never get done. I will always prioritize the human interaction over that. So having a real estate business requires a lot of tasks, more than people would actually understand. All the while, your clients feel, and with their right to feel this way, access to you as their guide. And if you're their guide, they would like to have access to you when they want. That's what they hired you to do in their mind. But there's a lot of other items and tasks that you need to perform to operate a real estate business. I actually don't really know how people do it alone.
Yeah.
I've never operated that way. And maybe it's just because the way that I came into real estate, which was an apprenticeship, it was almost like a partnership. But of course, I was the apprentice. But he really treated me like a partner. So I naturally have always operated with a business partner.
Yeah. It's good to know that. If I were to interview some of your past clients, how would they describe you?
Patient. Yeah, patient. Always there, tough negotiator, and enthusiastic. And I think that's,
Is there anything else that you'd like to be thought of as?
I think I like what people think of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So it's in alignment.
It's an alignment. People remember me. They don't, nobody has gone through a transaction where they don't remember me as part of it.
Yeah.
They know that I was in it. Except for maybe a couple of deals with my investors where I've recommended them a property and they've just said, we'll call you when we're ready to list. And those were pretty easy transactions. That's happened a couple of times, but most clients, I'm highly engaged. I'm there at every inspection. I'm there when it's a seller. I'm there when the buyers are there. I'm there when anybody is even looking at the place to see what happens.
We've talked a little bit about what it is you like about the business. Just to go a little deeper into that, what would you say is your bigger why, or I like to think of it's sort of married with your bigger vision for this career?
Personally, or just...
Yeah, what's your why?
My why is my family, friends, and the people around me. It's human-oriented. My why, I live for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be the person who supports them financially. I always want to be able to be the one who gives, and it feels really good to give. My mom taught me that. Oh, that it actually makes me cry a little bit, but when you don't know what else to do, she always taught me, if you're bored, you don't have a job, you don't know what to do, you're in a place, she said, just go volunteer and go help someone else. The answer will come to you.
Yeah.
And that is,
advice.
I think, a really good guiding light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your bigger vision for your business?
Well, we're taking over the world. No, I definitely have a couple of business plans or other brokers that I'd like to follow in the way that they formed their business. Michael and I, without stating, financial goals and all of that, I think Michael and I will have a very strong team, a smallish team. I don't think we're ever going to be like a mega team that takes over. It'll be highly specialized. It'll be full of very, very unique individuals who can implement deals quickly, efficiently, and make clients remember you. So yeah,
So you'll be adding team members.
we will be. Yeah.
Is there like an optimal number?
Well, it depends. The way that these grow, Michael and I are a partnership. And when you organically grow a team, my strategy is you acquire other team members that don't do what you do. For example, I'm really good at the deal. Michael has a marketing background. I am not very proficient at Adobe marketing ideas. I'm actually uninterested in it. I have a million ideas also, but I can't implement them. I don't actually have the mind for it, especially if you're dealing with clients for hours a day to put together a really wonderful marketing piece. You need people on your team that are really good at that. You
Yep.
need people that are really good at operating a business that may not even engage with clients. So my strategy is to acquire other people who are really good at what they do, that can perform a job that I have a weakness in.
Yeah, that seems very smart and sort of play into your strengths,
Yes, absolutely.
which is the relationship side of the business, the deal making, and what are the key things we mentioned in terms of really where you excel?
Yeah, it's the relationships, it's the deal making, it's the closing.
Yeah.
It's the people wouldn't know this because, I am kind of a warm and fuzzy person, but when it comes to the contracts, nothing is more fascinating. Nothing is. I'm more thorough than anybody else when it comes to those contracts. So although I'm warm and fuzzy, I love contracts. I can
Yeah.
focus on those all day. But that's part of the deal, and how you utilize those in the entire structure of a real estate transaction is incredibly important. And paying attention to the timelines during that throughout an entire escrow, so that everyone achieves the right outcome. It's managing personalities, it's managing people's emotions, and it's utilizing the paperwork structure that you have, which is hundreds of pages by the time your escrow is over that you will have signed and hopefully read.
Yeah.
That's the best part. There's lead generation that you have to be really good at. I would say that that's probably a weakness of mine because it involves marketing and it involves talking to people at scale in a macro way. Since I'm so one-on-one with people, really difficult to do that at the same time and be paying attention to messaging to potential leads while you're paying attention to what's the task at hand, which is
Yeah.
an escrow.
Multi-dimensions, a lot of details.
Yeah.
If you weren't doing real estate, what would you do?
I don't know if I'd go back completely into interior design. I would consult in it. It would be probably something in that realm, design-oriented, fashion-oriented, architecture-oriented. I don't know, though, if I would actually be an architect or somebody who's actually on a computer doing that. More organic coming out of my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, last question. What made you smile today?
You. You're an awesome smile. Yes, connection. Waking up this morning, really. I do wake up in the morning and smile every time I see Scott in the bed. I wake up, I give him a hug, I stare at him for about a minute, and that makes me smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks for interviewing me.
Okay.